Welcome to Dating Log, the podcast that records the ups and downs of dating in your 30s. I'm your host, Wyndham Juno. This is episode 4, Trying on Sweaters. I spoke with Sam right after he got off the phone with someone he had been seeing for 2 weeks. As a result, this conversation is fresh and raw. It's also an episode where we get more into the downs of dating. And I think there's parts in here that everyone can relate to. Here's Sam.
My name is Sam. I'm 39 years old. I live in Amsterdam. I like females. It's a bummer that I don't like men because that's like 50% of the world population I can't touch, but I just have zero interest. Mostly I'm successful on Bumble because that's where all the women are that want to be mothers. For some reason, I'm suspecting that's what I attract. I'm not sure I want to. I go to these stints that I'm a bit more active in just approaching people or just in the street or whatever, but I don't always feel like it. I don't know.
You just go up to people on streets?
Yeah, sometimes when you see somebody nice, you just try to strike up a conversation. That's been going wrong and right. Many options. Depends. But it's been a while.
When is the last time you went up to someone on the street and just hit them up?
I think that was last summer. See, that's a while ago. But I mean, I like to be a wise ass on the street, and some people like that, and then they start just chatting along.
Can you give me an example?
Playful comments. Let's put it that way. For instance, I a while back I bought some Ben & Jerry's, and then I saw it was 2 for the price of 1, and I was like, I don't want 2 Ben & Jerry's. And then there was a lady right in front of me that picked 1, and I was like, hey, we should make a deal. And then we went to the register together and we shared phone numbers and tickies. And, sometimes, usually it's with random people, but it could be somebody I was interested in, but not that time. But you never know. It's just nice to be a bit assertive and play around a bit, I think.
I like that. That is a fresh approach to meeting people in the grocery store.
Well, you don't think about it too much. It's just, yeah. But it depends on how I feel.
Okay. How are you feeling right now? Like if I said, tell me about how you're feeling about dating at this moment, what would you say?
Well, I just had a lovely and rare experience where I met a lady 4 times in 2 weeks. I think mostly on dating apps. It's either nothing or one date and I'm like, blah. So that was wonderful. And if it were up to me, we wouldn't stop. But she decided to not want to continue. Yeah, so this morning I was a little sad. And I just got off a call with her because I was like, hey, can we just like have a little bit of a conversation? Because I saw you 4 times and I'm curious to how you experience stuff. So we just had a phone call just right before I'm talking to you now. So yeah, I'm sort of happy that I experienced some niceness with somebody, and I'm sort of sad that it's not going on. And also I had my doubts, and she did as well, and But yeah, it was nice.
Why did she want to break it off after 4 dates?
Well, we had a very awkward date yesterday. Yeah, I don't know. When I was on the phone, I was like, do I want to get into the details? And then I didn't. And we had like a nice conversation of like, I hope you're okay, and chatted a bit, but we didn't go into details. But now I feel like I do want to go into details. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter because she doesn't want to hang out anymore, and it's best to just move on.
How old was she?
36.
And is it someone who's like looking to settle and go for it now?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that was pretty, yeah. Why? What are you laughing about?
Well, I'm curious because 4 dates in 2 weeks. Yeah, 4 dates in 2 weeks is a pretty intense and a lot of dates in this day and age where, like you said, you go on one date or people just ghost after you exchange 2 lines of text or whatever, or exchange numbers and they just never answer.
Yeah, I said it's pretty rare what we achieved here, and she agreed. So okay, I'll just do a quick summary of the 4 of them. Does that make sense, or do you have something else in mind?
Let's do that.
Let me think. Okay, so we matched on one of the apps, Bumble, of course, and chatting. And then she came with a voice note. Usually I do that, the first one, because I want to hear somebody's voice, because I think that can save you a lot of time. So sooner or later I throw in a voice note and I sort of ask the person to do the same, or just like invite them to do the same. But this time she did a voice note already and was like, oh, I like this. And then she went on a holiday to Portugal for a week. And I think we chatted every other day. We shared voice notes. And I could feel that the conversation just was sustaining itself. It was like, it gave me energy. So I was like, okay, this is nice. And usually when in the past, I used to go on dates where I wasn't sure. And I think I sort of stopped doing that. Sometimes I still do, but sometimes I'm like, okay, I really have to look forward to it. Otherwise, usually it's useless anyway. So this one I was looking forward to. And then what I was also happy about, so she said, can we meet Friday? And I was like, well, it's Sunday now. Why don't we meet Monday? And then she said, well, Monday I have to pick up a bunch of stuff because I ordered stuff online secondhand, and I have to go to all these houses in Amsterdam to pick it up. And I was like, well, great, I'll just join you. I'll jump in the car, bring some snacks, and we're going to pick up your new secondhand stuff. And I like to be, I think it's fun, random, you just join. And also on a first date, I think it's a lot about the nonverbal stuff, especially that I already knew that we could have a nice conversation through the voice apps. So I think it's nice to have something to do instead of like sitting across each other and just looking at one another. So that was fun. And then for the second date, we went swimming on a Sunday morning. We just had like 2 hours because I had some other stuff planned. And that was very relaxing and soothing and lovely. And I also told her. And then for the third date was I made some food in my house, and we had a lovely evening. There was no the clothes stayed on because it's nice to be patient, but it was wonderful, intimate. The touching, it was just very gentle, and I very much enjoyed that. And then we went on our fourth date, and that was just a bit of a unfortunate, shitty situation. So I was like, I invited her to bike over to north of Amsterdam. You have these lakes. So I was like, let's just go to a lake and spend the afternoon there and maybe go for a swim or whatever. So we biked to the lake, and then everything was still nice. And then we got to the lake, and we needed a spot. And I wanted this. I went to the like basic beach, and she didn't like that. So we kept looking for some like secluded spot, but we couldn't find one. And then she saw the spot she really liked. This is so dumb. And then she was like, I really want to be here. And I was like, really? This looks horrible to me. I'm like by the side of the road. I'm like by the side of the road between the water, and I didn't feel at ease at that spot. But it was like, yeah, we've already been looking for 30 minutes, so fuck it, let's just go here. So we laid down. She went for a swim, but I could not find peace there at that spot. And then to make matters worse, suddenly they were hauling over canoes like right in front of us, because it was a spot where the canoes get into the water. So I was like, I really don't want to be here. And then I have to be honest, I was a bit cranky. I was like, why are we here? What is up with this? And then what is up with this spot? And she noticed like, what's going on? I was like, yeah, what's going on in your head? You seem like restless. Like, yeah, this is not really my spot. And then I made a bit of a snatchy comment, which was ugly, and I shouldn't have done that. But I apologized for it later on. And then after a while, I was like, okay, I really can't be here anymore. And then we went to a new spot, which was like an open field and way more relaxed. And we hung out there for a bit more, and then I felt at ease and she felt at ease, and then we biked back. And on the bike back, I could feel like something switched or something. I was like, okay, she's not engaging with me anymore. So then I had like, okay, this was a very unfortunate, terrible date. And then I got home and I was a little bummed out, and I sent her a message like, I hope you had an okay day. Maybe we should like not go swimming anymore because we apparently suck at it. And then I went to bed, fell asleep, woke up at 4, looked at my phone, and I had like a 1-minute message. And it's stupid. Don't listen to messages in the middle of the night. So she told me like in the message, it was like, yeah, I don't feel enough of a connection to continue. And I saw that coming, but then I didn't sleep anymore after. I was like, what the fuck? And I started like, I was already afraid that I fucked up the date.
Yeah.
But then again, I mean, it's not like she was the most flexible person with her super funky spot where she wanted to lay down. So yeah, I guess it's a bit of both. Whatever, it's hard to figure out these things. But you'll get conflicts eventually in relationships. So then I think the trick is to be able to talk about it, because conflicts will arise. So how do you communicate? And I think afterwards we communicated fine. So then I was like, yeah, can I give you a call later today? Because at least like we had 4 dates, and we're like, let's just have like a call. And we had a nice call, and then I asked, like, was it because of this weird date that we don't want to continue? I was like, yeah, it was a bit of that, and also a bit of like not seeing the match. And she said, I don't know if I'm making the right decision, but this is my decision, and da 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 da. And then in the back of my mind, I was like, well, of course it's her decision. And I was like, I think we had fun. We had, out of 4 dates, we had 3 nice ones and 1 shitty one. I think that's a pretty good result. In my mind, I was like, yeah, I think I tried. I'm not sure if I always do this, but I'm like, maybe better if there was some connection and some intimacy and some fun, if you felt it.
Mm-hmm.
I think from my perspective, I'd rather go like on 1 extra date until I really hate the person's face. but I do not understand, with all respect to her, I do not understand ending things even though you felt something together and there was no like huge drama. But then again, I don't know. Another thing that might have happened is like, I think I'm not that keen on the hardcore family stuff, and maybe she is. When somebody asks me on 3 date if I want children, I'm like, why are we talking about this? And if somebody does ask that question, then I guess it's important to them. But it's not that important to me. So there was more stuff going on than why it might not have been a match, combined with like a shitty 4th date. I also had my doubts, but yeah, I would have loved to see her again. And I don't know if we would have died in each other's arms, but yeah. This is my story.
Thank you for sharing this story. Do you get asked that question a lot about families and parenting and kids?
Well, the shitty thing about Bumble is that it's right there. People are like, want children, don't want children, not sure. And maybe that's not even shitty, but it's just like, if it's one of the, yeah. I don't know what to think about it.
What does your profile say? Have you answered that question?
I usually leave it out. And I think that the chance of me having children is small. I've never had this huge urge. But I don't know about the future. Maybe if you're with somebody, you suddenly see it. I don't know. But I've never been. From the friends I have that have children, they've really wanted it at some point, and I don't know that feeling.
Have you had any long-term partners?
Not really. That's something that also bothers me a bit. I'm like, I don't want to die without that experience.
Why does it bother you?
I think it could be beautiful, even though I bet it's hard work. And I sometimes feel a bit sad for the opportunities I let slip, because I was either ignorant, clumsy, or unlucky, or whatever. But it's hard to, you try, and then it happens or it doesn't. Yeah.
How long has your longest relationship been?
I'd say a year. She had this. I was 21 years old back then, so it was a long time ago. And she broke.
That's a long time ago.
She broke. Yeah. So it's like in the past 18, 19 years, I haven't had anything that I would describe as a relationship. Expect this lady in Los Angeles, but then I lived in the Netherlands and she lived in Los Angeles. So it was just for 1 year we had a lot of online contact and saw each other a few times, but it's very unworkable.
Have you been dating this entire time?
On and off. Sometimes I put some more effort in than other times. But the dumb thing that I notice is that when I'm sort of sick of the dating apps, I throw them off my phone, and sometimes that lasts for like a month or so. And then I put them back on because I feel like then at least I'm doing something. And maybe it's not something that's working, but it feels like I'm trying, which is like a nasty thing I don't know if it actually helps, but at least you feel like you're making an effort.
You said apps plural. Are you using more than just Bumble?
Yeah, I've tried other ones, but usually, what did I try? I tried Field.
What'd you think of that one?
I like the funky audience, but I'm not that queer, funky, whatever. But I like I usually have an interest in people that have a sort of maybe a funky lifestyle or like a different way of.
Funky lifestyle's good. I like that.
Yeah, it's like a free-spirited type of, yeah, wanderer.
Okay, so Bumble, you tried Field. Have you tried anything else?
Yeah, Hinge. But I feel like on Hinge, everybody looks like Kim Kardashian. It's so smooth. It's just too much. Yeah, it's interesting how these dating apps have their own little culture. And Hinge is, it's so Instagram-y. I don't know.
What are you looking for when you're dating?
I look for wonderful moments of connection, even though I hate the fucking word connection, but I guess that's the best way to call it. And like gentleness, tenderness, affection. You don't even have to talk. Sometimes you can just hug somebody, and if that lasts for like 1 date, 5 dates, 50 years, whatever, but I'll take everything I can get, basically. Okay, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but those are the beautiful moments, right? Why would you not?
Are you looking for a partner, or are you like?
Yeah, I would like that. I would like a long-term somebody, yeah. But in the meantime, if it's a 2-month somebody, that's fine with me.
How many dates have you been on, let's say, in the last year?
The last year, not so many, like a handful, yeah, or maybe 2 handfuls, but like, yeah, not so many.
Like 10 different people, 2 handfuls?
Yeah, probably less than 10. Because I before I go on a date now, I'm just way more. I just want to feel like I'm excited about it. And in the past, I used to also go when I was like, okay, let's have a look. But I don't do the have a look much anymore.
Why has that changed?
Well, it usually doesn't work. Like, yeah, I think I can trust my feeling there of like, okay, let's just only do it when you're at least a little bit excited about it.
How do you? It sounds like this is something that wasn't always so, right? Can I safely assume that it's changed in the last
years,
how many
yeah.
years would you say?
Yeah, plenty. Maybe 10. Maybe 10, yeah. In the beginning, sometimes it was like, yeah, let's just fucking meet up and we'll see. Even though you exchange like, this is like 10 years ago, maybe. Even you exchanged a few words. But yeah, now I think that's pretty dumb.
Okay, walk me through your match process. You've selected someone based on your criteria and you match. What happens?
Chatting. And if I experience some type of funniness, then I'm like, oh, this makes me laugh a little bit. I usually, and it somehow feels a little smooth, or somebody's a bit savvy. Savvy?
Yeah, savvy's good.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, they're sharp. They're like a bit of irony, a bit like just making fun of each other. Yeah, I just want to laugh. In the beginning, I just want to laugh, and then I go for a voice note, and then if I like the voice, yeah, I'm happy to meet up. Maybe not like the voice, but when I feel energy, when I feel like, oh, this gives me energy. This is moving forward organically.
I've had one person do this to me. No, one person actually kind of immediately sent a voice memo, and I was a bit like, huh, this is new, this is different.
That also helps. It makes an impact. It's like, who is this guy with this voice notes? Who's this fucker?
But it made an impression on me.
Yeah, right.
And I've never thought to do that myself. And if this is like your kind of go-to thing,
yeah, I invented it.
You invented it.
No, I'm being a bit cheeky now. Cheeky is the right word, I think. I like it when a girl is a bit cheeky. When we can play with words and there's laughing, that's cheeky, right? Yeah.
Can you tell me What do you find the most enjoyable about dating?
Well, I make this comparison. Usually, is that I do like a new sweater that I enjoy and fits me well, but I don't like shopping.
So you like trying new sweaters?
You have to find like a one that fits nice, right? This is my best. And then as soon as you have one that fits right, then you're like, oh, this is nice. But most of the time, it doesn't fit.
Is that enjoyable for you, trying new sweaters? Is that the thing that's fun about dating?
No, not so much.
Okay.
No, it's a bit addictive.
Oh.
These dating apps are I experience them as like an endless to-do list, and I'm a bit OCD like that. I make lots of lists, and then I want to get to the bottom of them because I want to have everything done. So for me, dating apps are very intrusive. I also throw them off. I think I probably am the person that has deleted and downloaded their dating apps most. Sometimes I do that like 3 times in a day.
Really? One day?
Because then I just want to get them away. I'm like, okay, off my phone, and then like 6 hours later I download the app again, do some shit, and then I delete it again. Yeah, it's very addictive. It's hard for me to like stay away from it then.
Do you have the notifications on?
No, no, that would be horrible. I'm also like I'm a zero inbox person, you know. I'm just organized like that. So a dating app is like endless inbox. It's just it's like there's always a new person to swipe. Like sometimes it says like you ran out of likes, and then I'm like, yes, no,
done for the day.
No more likes today. Done for the day. Oh, thank you.
What kinds of things do you do on dates?
Usually it's just a walk or a bar. I think a first date after you've just chatted with somebody and did some voice notes and you feel like the conversation is happening. I feel like a first date is not about talking, it's about feeling. And therefore there's no need to talk. So you can just like go on a run, you don't have to say anything and go home and then be like, do I want to see this person again? Because you already did. I'm exaggerating a little bit, of course. But yeah, the first date is about, do I feel like I want to get closer to this person or no?
Has anyone ever taken you on like a really great date? No,
but that's something you do. I think that's something you do when you already know that you're at least into each other. Otherwise, let's first figure that out. And that's not hard. You just have to like show up and look at each other.
Okay, what is the best date you've ever been on?
Well, that was somebody I didn't meet through a dating app. But I met her at a lecture on capitalism. That's where you go to get the hotties. Yeah, that was the best date I've ever been on. We met up in the park. Then we tried to throw things we found in the park bin that was like 50 meters away, and that didn't work. Then we went into a restaurant and asked if they have steak. And then they said yes. And then we said, no, thank you. And then it was just really dumb. It was like super random shit. We ended up talking to a bum. And I think she scared the bum a little bit because she was being really intense. She cares a lot. She used to like help bums, I think. But she was so intense. I was like, oh, this person is afraid of you. Yeah. And then we ended up salsa dancing. And what I liked about that one is that when I dipped her, she went all in, like no fear, no hesitation. And I had to just like really try hard to make sure she not fell on the floor. But it was so fucking gutsy and so fearless that I was like, yeah, I like this woman. Yeah, that was cool. And then there was some wonderful kissing, and then we went home. Yeah, that was really fun.
And did you see her again?
Yeah, I saw her like another few times. Yeah, and then she wanted to stop it, and by then I was like so into her, it was a bad idea. So that didn't end well. But I don't know if we would. I'm not sure if we would have been a match. Sometimes you think a person is somebody that they're not, or whatever. It's hard. Yeah. This was so intense. Like these 3 dates we went on were so intense that somehow it didn't feel. Yeah, so it's better to maybe pace yourself or not get your hopes up or be a bit wiser and patient about it. But yeah, I don't know. That's possible all the time.
So like a big point of this also is about dating in our 30s, right? And how it's different than, let's say, dating in our 20s. And you are now at the end of your 30s, and you've been, let's say, in the dating pool for a super long time. So with people around you, right, say, let's say you've been together since college. A lot of your friends are college friends, or other people in their 30s are married with kids doing this whole family thing. And you already mentioned that you weren't sure about doing the family thing, but you're really looking for a long-term partner. But it sounds like you're going on a lot of first dates, but nothing's sticking. So how are you, and you're downloading and deleting the app sometimes multiple times a day. How are you like really feeling?
Horrible.
Like, what is really going on? I'm repeating it back to you.
Oh, sometimes I'm very sad. Like, let's say there's a weekend and I don't have much to do. Then I get very unhappy with my situation. And like the word loneliness can come about, and it's unfortunate. It makes me sad sometimes that this has never happened, or for whatever reason.
Do you have any? You say for whatever reason, but are there like patterns or things that are coming up or affecting why?
Yeah, I think up until my 30s, I didn't take it that seriously, or I never saw a relationship as something I wanted or even respected, or saw the value in it, or I don't know. And I feel like I didn't recognize, it's like, what is love, you know? I hardly ever use the word, but somehow you see what your parents do and then you think that's what it is, but is it really? There's a lot of reflecting and thinking you can do, and like getting to know your own feelings and patterns and whatever. I think that alone took me like years, and still is a work in progress. It's like, what do I recognize as love? What do I think it is? And what is it actually? It's like, so I think a lot of my 30s was about like not understanding that. If I look back, there were some ladies I met in my 20s that if I would meet them now, I would sort of like recognize and appreciate the feeling and do something else with it. But back then I was just like, okay, this is nice, and then whatever. I didn't look for it again or whatever. I was just in a different mindset, I guess. And in my 30s, I started to sort of like, that mindset started to shift. But then I met less options. I met less people in general. I don't know.
I'm feeling a little bit just through this conversation, like the little bit of sadness and like the loneliness into it. Like, what do you think you could do differently to change that? I mean,
well, I think I just have to. I think now, if I will meet somebody, I will recognize what it is, and I will have more skills to make it into something. So now I think I would like opportunities, and I think I'm more capable of recognizing them and making them flourish.
mm-hmm.
But hey, I don't know. That's what I think. But who knows?
What do you mean by more skills?
Well, communication, like talking about conflicts, understanding your own patterns. Yes, communicating without judgment. Like, how do you feel? How do I feel? What happened? And that can take a lot of work, I think, before you can do that. I know plenty of people that are double my age that still can't do that.
What is the age range of the people you're dating?
I'd say mid-30s. And I don't think I've ever dated somebody older than me, but I would like put maybe like 41 in the apps, but I've never gotten there.
Why not date older people?
No, it's just attraction, I think. I'm not into. Yeah, no, I'm not necessarily. I'd like if somebody's a few years younger. It's not that I have anything against it. It's just it also hasn't come my way, so to say. It's not like I check the list. It's just, it's out of experience. I have noticed that whenever I was into somebody, they were usually younger. And it's not like I have a problem with somebody being older, but it also just hasn't happened.
Well, if your range is only set to 41, it's also not going to happen.
Yeah, but also like out in the wild for whatever reason. I meet people.
If you were going to sum up your dating experience, let's say the last 8 years, right? Like only in your 30s. In a few sentences, what would you share? You know, say you've got a short bio and you need to reflect, this is my dating story of the past 8 years.
Yeah, too much effort, too little result.
You feel like you're putting in a lot of effort.
I used to, yeah, but now I put in less effort, but...
You seem a little... I'm getting this heaviness on the heart, like...
No, we've talked about this. I've told you there is some sadness of like, I'd like a turn at this. I'd like a shot at this, yeah.
And you just kind of got dumped like this morning, so...
Yeah, but I mean, it's okay. Yeah, we'll see.
Well, it's okay.
I don't blame her. I mean, there's no hard feelings.
No.
Yeah.
But getting dumped sucks. Especially when you've had like a good run.
Yeah, I'm okay.
You're okay? Okay, I'm going to trust that you're okay.
Yeah, no, I'll think about her. Yeah, but gotta just move on, right? And the sooner you do that, yeah. And it was like 2 weeks. What are we talking about?
I know, but it sounded like you had a good few dates, so that's, I mean...
Yeah, but I also had my doubts myself. So now now I can just be like, yes, see? Now I can exaggerate the doubts, where before I exaggerated the good parts. I don't know if it works that way, but I can try.
Yeah. What kind of advice do you have for people who are dating?
I can tell you what I started doing that I didn't do before that really helped me. But if that helps other people, I don't know. But I think we've touched upon this already. It's like I want to feel energy. And I don't just go on a date anymore. I haven't done so in like 2 years, but I used to, like early 30s. I just like, okay, let's just meet up. I don't do that anymore. Yeah, I just want to feel like I'm having fun, like I'm excited about it. So maybe that's useful to somebody.
Dating Log is recorded and hosted by me, Wyndham Juno. It is produced by Harry Dark. Our artwork is in collaboration with Esme Hemming Studio. You can follow us on Instagram at Dating Log Podcast, and our website is datinglogpodcast.com. If you'd like to send us a message, you can email us at datinglogpodcast@gmail.com. Please remember to like and subscribe wherever you listen, and if you're enjoying the episode so far, leave a review and tell a friend. We'll see you in 2 weeks for a fresh cup of tea.